What if Auston Matthews was drafted by the Arizona Coyotes? In the 2016 NHL draft, the grand prize was Auston Matthews, and whoever won the draft lottery would end up with a new franchise center. Originally in the 2016 draft, the Toronto Maple Leafs won the draft lottery and drafted Auston Matthews. This time around, the Arizona Coyotes win the draft lottery and end up with Auston Matthews. What would happen if Auston Matthews was drafted by the Arizona Coyotes? How would this impact the NHL? Since the Arizona Coyotes have the number 1 pick, this will affect the draft order for the rest of the draft. At the 2016 NHL draft, the Toronto Maple Leafs traded pick 2 to the Winnipeg Jets for pick 7, 18, 79, and first and second round picks in 2017. Changes in the 2016 draft: Arizona Coyotes draft Auston Matthews, Vancouver Canucks draft Mikhail Sergachev, Toronto Maple Leafs draft Clayton Keller, Montreal Canadiens draft Oli Juolevi, Toronto Maple Leafs draft Samuel Girard, Detroit Red Wings draft Alex DeBrincat, Dallas Stars draft Logan Stanley, Washington Capitals draft Dennis Cholowski, Nashville Predators draft Philip Pronoch, and the Detroit Red Wings draft Adam Fox. There are some major moves that take place in the 2016 offseason. A 3-team trade is made between the Arizona Coyotes, Tampa Bay Lightning, and Dallas Stars. The Arizona Coyotes get Jonathan Drouin and Cody Eakin. Tampa Bay Lightning get Antoine Roussel, Jacob Chychrun, and a second-round pick in 2018. Dallas Stars get Martin Hanzal, Tony DeAngelo, and Tobias Ryder. Columbus Blue Jackets acquire Mikael Granlund and Nino Niederreiter from the Minnesota Wild for William Karlsson, Oliver Bjorkstrand, and a second-round pick in 2017. Detroit Red Wings trade Gustav Nyquist, Andreas Athanasiou, and Nick Jensen to the Carolina Hurricanes for Justin Falk and Brock McGinn. Montreal Canadiens trade Max Pacioretty and Andrew Shaw to the Chicago Blackhawks for Artemi Panarin and Richard Panik. Because of the changes made to the rosters, that will have a huge effect on the 2016-17 season. In first place in the Atlantic Division are the Montreal Canadiens, followed by the Ottawa Senators and Boston Bruins. In first place in the Metropolitan Division are the Washington Capitals, followed by the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Columbus Blue Jackets. The New York Rangers hold the first wildcard spot in the Eastern Conference, and the Tampa Bay Lightning hold the second wildcard spot in the Eastern Conference. Missing out on the playoffs in the Eastern Conference are the New York Islanders, Philadelphia Flyers, Toronto Maple Leafs, Carolina Hurricanes, Florida Panthers, Detroit Red Wings, Buffalo Sabres, and New Jersey Devils. In first place in the Central Division are the Chicago Blackhawks, followed by the St. Louis Blues and Nashville Predators. In first place in the Pacific Division are the Anaheim Ducks, followed by the Edmonton Oilers and San Jose Sharks. The Calgary Flames hold the first wildcard spot in the Western Conference, and the Minnesota Wild hold the second wildcard spot in the Western Conference. Missing out on the playoffs in the Western Conference are the Winnipeg Jets, LA Kings, Dallas Stars, Arizona Coyotes, Vancouver Canucks, and Colorado Avalanche. The Pittsburgh Penguins beat the Nashville Predators in 6 games in the Stanley Cup Finals. There are some drastic changes in the 2017 draft as well. Since William Karlsson is now with the Minnesota Wild, he isn't available to be picked anymore, so the Golden Knights select Alexander Wenberg from the Blue Jackets instead. The Arizona Coyotes don't trade for Derek Stepan and Antti Raanta, so they keep their first round pick in 2017. The 24th and 45th picks in the 2017 draft belong to the Toronto Maple Leafs. The picks were acquired in a draft day trade made in 2016. Changes in the 2017 draft: Toronto Maple Leafs draft Elias Pettersson, Vancouver Canucks draft Nolan Patrick, Arizona Coyotes draft Casey Mittelstadt, Buffalo Sabres draft Elias Anderson, Philadelphia Flyers draft Callan Foote, Arizona Coyotes draft Timothy Liljegren, Tampa Bay Lightning draft Juuso Valimaki, Calgary Flames draft Urho Vaakanainen, San Jose Sharks draft Robert Thomas, Boston Bruins draft Josh Norris, St. Louis Blues draft Philip Hedl, New York Rangers select Kyle Yamamoto, Edmonton Oilers draft Pierre-Olivier Joseph, Arizona Coyotes draft Henri Jokiharju, and the Toronto Maple Leafs select Alexander Texier. A few trades are made in the 2017 offseason. A 3-team trade is made between the Colorado Avalanche, Philadelphia Flyers, and Arizona Coyotes. Colorado Avalanche get Dylan Strome, Lawson Krause, Oscar Lindblom, and a first-round pick in 2019. Philadelphia Flyers get Max Domi and Carl Soderberg. Arizona Coyotes get Matt Duchene and Jordan Wheel. Edmonton Oilers trade Jesse Puljujarvi, Ryan Strome, Oscar Klefbom, and a first-round pick in 2018 to the Ottawa Senators for Erik Karlsson. New York Islanders trade John Tavares to the Toronto Maple Leafs for William Nylander, Andreas Johnsson, and a first-round pick in 2018. Toronto Maple Leafs re-signed John Tavares to a 7-year deal worth $11 million per season. Ottawa Senators trade Mike Hoffman and Cody Ceci to the LA Kings for Jake Muzzin and Tyler Toffoli. These moves will have a huge effect on the 2017-18 season. In first place in the Atlantic Division are the Tampa Bay Lightning, followed by the Boston Bruins and Toronto Maple Leafs. In first place in the Metropolitan Division are the Washington Capitals, followed by the Pittsburgh Penguins and Philadelphia Flyers. The Columbus Blue Jackets hold the first wildcard spot in the Eastern Conference, and the Montreal Canadiens hold the second wildcard spot in the Eastern Conference. Missing out on the playoffs in the Eastern Conference are the New Jersey Devils, Florida Panthers, Carolina Hurricanes, New York Rangers, New York Islanders, Detroit Red Wings, Buffalo Sabres, and Ottawa Senators. In first place in the Central Division are the Nashville Predators, followed by the Winnipeg Jets and St. Louis Blues. In first place in the Pacific Division are the Anaheim Ducks, followed by the San Jose Sharks and Edmonton Oilers. The Calgary Flames hold the first wildcard spot in the Western Conference, and the LA Kings hold the second wildcard spot in the Western Conference. Missing out on the playoffs in the Western Conference are the Vegas Golden Knights, Minnesota Wild, Dallas Stars, Chicago Blackhawks, Arizona Coyotes, Colorado Avalanche, and Vancouver Canucks. The Washington Capitals beat the Edmonton Oilers in the Stanley Cup Finals in 6 games. Some major changes occur at the 2018 draft. The 26th pick in the draft goes to the New York Islanders as part of the John Tavares trade, and the 30th pick in the draft goes to the Ottawa Senators as part of the Erik Karlsson trade. At the 2018 draft, the Vancouver Canucks trade pick 3 to the New York Islanders for picks 7, 18, 37, and 68. Changes in the 2018 draft: Ottawa Senators draft Rasmus Dahlin, Dallas Stars draft Andrei Svechnikov, New York Islanders draft Brady Tkachuk, Buffalo Sabres draft Barrett Hayton, Detroit Red Wings draft Jesperi Kotkaniemi, Colorado Avalanche draft Philip Zadina, New York Rangers draft Adam Boqvist, Arizona Coyotes draft Noah Dobson, Chicago Blackhawks draft Evan Bouchard, Carolina Hurricanes select Vitaly Kravtsov, Florida Panthers select Oliver Wahlstrom, Minnesota Wild select Joel Farabee, LA Kings select Ty Dellandrea, Montreal Canadiens select Grigory Denisenko, Vegas Golden Knights select Rasmus Sandin, Vancouver Canucks select Martin Kaut, New York Islanders select Jacob Bernard-Docker, Ottawa Senators select Joe Veleno, and the Vancouver Canucks select Akil Thomas. In the 2018 offseason, a few trades are made. A 3-team trade is made between the Buffalo Sabres, Carolina Hurricanes, and Chicago Blackhawks. Buffalo Sabres get Charlie Coyle, Jordan Greenway, and a first-round pick in 2019. Carolina Hurricanes get Ryan O'Reilly. Minnesota Wild get Jeff Skinner. Arizona Coyotes trade Matt Duchene and Nicholas Jarmelson to the New York Islanders for Brock Nelson, Adam Pelech, and a first-round pick in 2020. New York Islanders re-signed Matt Duchene to a 7-year deal worth $8 million per season, and the Arizona Coyotes re-signed Brock McGinn to a 6-year deal worth $6 million per season. Chicago Blackhawks trade Max Pacioretty and Nick Schmaltz to the Colorado Avalanche for Tyson Jost, JT Compher, Ryan Graves, and a first-round pick in 2019. Colorado Avalanche re-signed Max Pacioretty to a 7-year deal worth $7 million per season, and Nick Schmaltz to a 6-year deal worth $5.5 million per season. Edmonton Oilers trade Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Drake Caggiula to the New York Rangers for Chris Kreider, Philip Hedl, and a first-round pick in 2020. Edmonton Oilers re-signed Erik Karlsson to a 7-year deal worth $11 million per season. Ottawa Senators trade Mark Stone and Christian Wolanin to the Philadelphia Flyers for Travis Konecny, Robert Hagg, and a first-round pick in 2021. There are some major changes in standings during the 2018-19 season. In first place in the Atlantic Division are the Tampa Bay Lightning, followed by the Boston Bruins and Toronto Maple Leafs. In first place in the Metropolitan Division are the Washington Capitals, followed by the Philadelphia Flyers and Pittsburgh Penguins. The New York Islanders hold the first wildcard spot in the Eastern Conference, and the Carolina Hurricanes hold the second wildcard spot in the Eastern Conference. Missing out on the playoffs in the Eastern Conference are the Florida Panthers, Montreal Canadiens, Columbus Blue Jackets, Buffalo Sabres, New York Rangers, Detroit Red Wings, New Jersey Devils, and Ottawa Senators. In first place in the Central Division are the Nashville Predators, followed by the Colorado Avalanche and Winnipeg Jets. In first place in the Pacific Division are the Edmonton Oilers, followed by the Calgary Flames and San Jose Sharks. The Dallas Stars hold the first wildcard spot in the Western Conference, and the Arizona Coyotes hold the second wildcard spot in the Western Conference. Missing the playoffs in the Western Conference are the St. Louis Blues, Anaheim Ducks, Chicago Blackhawks, Vegas Golden Knights, Minnesota Wild, LA Kings, and Vancouver Canucks. The Colorado Avalanche beat the Carolina Hurricanes in 6 games to win the Stanley Cup. The Ottawa Senators don't trade for Matt Duchene, so they keep their first-round pick in 2019. The Columbus Blue Jackets don't trade for Matt Duchene, so they keep their first-round pick in 2019 as well. The St. Louis Blues keep their first-round pick in 2019 because they don't trade for Ryan O'Reilly. The 30th pick in the 2019 draft goes to the Buffalo Sabres as part of the Ryan O'Reilly trade. And the 31st pick in the draft goes to the Chicago Blackhawks as part of the Max Pacioretty trade. At the 2019 draft, the Ottawa Senators trade pick 4 to the LA Kings for pick 6, 33, and 50. Changes in the 2019 draft: LA Kings select Bowen Byram, Vancouver Canucks select Alex Turcotte, Ottawa Senators draft Dylan Cozens, Buffalo Sabres select Philip Broberg, Minnesota Wild select Moritz Seider, Chicago Blackhawks select Vasily Podkolzin. Vegas Golden Knights draft Victor Soderstrom. New York Rangers draft Matthew Boldy. And the Columbus Blue Jackets draft Spencer Knight. A 3-team trade is made between the Anaheim Ducks, Arizona Coyotes, and Pittsburgh Penguins. Anaheim Ducks get Phil Kessel and Nick Cousins. Arizona Coyotes get Troy Terry, Nick Ritchie, Ole Mata, and Jared McCann. Pittsburgh Penguins get Casey Mittelstadt, Connor Garland, Jacob Larson, and a first-round pick in 2021. New Jersey Devils trade Taylor Hall to the Vegas Golden Knights for Rasmus Sandin, Nikita Gusev, and a first-round pick in 2021. Vegas Golden Knights re-signed Taylor Hall to a 7-year deal worth $11.5 million per season. Philadelphia Flyers re-signed Mark Stone to a 7-year deal worth $9.5 million per season. Ottawa Senators re-signed Travis Konecny to a 6-year deal worth $4.75 million per season. San Jose Sharks re-signed Joe Pavelski to a 3-year deal at $7 million per season. And the Dallas Stars re-signed Matt Zuccarello to a 5-year deal at $5.5 million per season. The 2019-2020 standings will look entirely different because of the changes made. In first place in the Atlantic Division are the Tampa Bay Lightning, followed by the Boston Bruins and Toronto Maple Leafs. In first place in the Metropolitan Division are the Washington Capitals, followed by the Carolina Hurricanes and New York Islanders. The Philadelphia Flyers hold the first wildcard spot in the Eastern Conference, and the Pittsburgh Penguins hold the second wildcard spot in the Eastern Conference. Missing out on the playoffs in the Eastern Conference are the Columbus Blue Jackets, Florida Panthers, Buffalo Sabres, New York Rangers, Detroit Red Wings, Montreal Canadiens, New Jersey Devils, and Ottawa Senators. In first place in the Central Division are the Colorado Avalanche, followed by the Dallas Stars and Winnipeg Jets. In first place in the Pacific Division are the Edmonton Oilers, followed by the Arizona Coyotes and Vegas Golden Knights. The Calgary Flames hold the first wildcard spot in the Western Conference, and the Nashville Predators hold the second wildcard spot in the Western Conference. Missing out on the playoffs in the Western Conference are the Anaheim Ducks, Minnesota Wild, St. Louis Blues, San Jose Sharks, Chicago Blackhawks, LA Kings, and Vancouver Canucks. The Edmonton Oilers beat the Carolina Hurricanes in 6 games to win the Stanley Cup. The biggest winner in this scenario are the Arizona Coyotes, Carolina Hurricanes, Edmonton Oilers, New York Islanders, and Colorado Avalanche. The biggest losers in this scenario are the Vancouver Canucks, New Jersey Devils, St. Louis Blues, Montreal Canadiens, and Nashville Predators. The Arizona Coyotes have a fantastic core of Auston Matthews, OEL, Brock Nelson, Jonathan Drouin, Troy Terry, and Adam Pelech. The Carolina Hurricanes have a dangerous team with a core of Ryan O'Reilly, Sebastian Aho, Toivo Teravainen, Gustav Nyquist, Jordan Staal, Dougie Hamilton, and Jacob Slavin. The Edmonton Oilers have a deadly big three of Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, and Erik Karlsson. The New York Islanders have a very well-balanced team with a core featuring Matt Duchene, Matt Barzal, William Nylander, Anders Lee, Brady Tkachuk, Josh Bailey, and Ryan Pulock. The Colorado Avalanche have a deadly team with a core of Nathan MacKinnon, Mikko Rantanen, Gabriel Landeskog, Nick Schmaltz, Max Pacioretty, Nazem Kadri, Cale Makar, and Eric Johnson. The Vancouver Canucks and New Jersey Devils both lost their best players and are stuck in the rebuild phase. The St. Louis Blues lose out on Ryan O'Reilly, so they end up missing the playoffs in back-to-back seasons. The Montreal Canadiens lose out on Jonathan Drouin and don't get anything for Artemi Panarin when he leaves in free agency. The Nashville Predators are stuck with PK Subban's contract, so they can't sign any important free agents. The biggest takeaway from this scenario is that if Auston Matthews gets drafted by the Arizona Coyotes, it creates a domino effect of changes around the NHL that could affect the course of NHL history. Next, what if the Tampa Bay Lightning traded Steven Stamkos?